Hello, everyone, and welcome to our virtual public board meeting for May 5th, 2022. This is also our annual board elections. So if you are interested in joining the BDNA, it is your lucky day. As you can tell, since you're here, we're using Zoom to host our meeting. You can join in any of the ways listed. This slideshow is featured and you can access it there at the public records on our website. And I'll be posting those links later in the chat unless Kim arrives, and then she'll post too. And these meetings are recorded. They're put up on our YouTube channel, so you can see them, you can go back to them, you can share them. And we have other meetings. We have a land use meeting and a work group meeting. Those are land use is held as needed currently, and work group has kind of been about an every other month thing. So I think in June we'll be evaluating some of those meetings to see how they're still serving us. And of course, you can subscribe to our newsletter. You can do that with the link we'll post later, or you can go to our website with your pop-up blocker off and you'll get a little easy sign up. Quick on our agenda, it's slightly different than what was posted just because I accidentally deleted the row that had the treasurer's report. So that's as normal in our second half, something we do every month, nothing exciting. And the other thing is instead of having the election results right after the break, we're going to do what we did last year, which is give neighbors 24 hours to vote. And they can, and then we'll announce the results on our website and through our newsletter. And then at our next meeting, the newly elected board will elect officers. So hopefully that's not too confusing, but there will be more on that as we go tonight. We'll do a quick round of welcomes and introductions. And if you have something to speak about in community announcements or something you'd like to bring up, just make sure we know and we'll try to fit you in. So I'll go ahead and start. I'm Chelsea Powers, she, her pronouns. I am the current chair of the Neighborhood Association. I've been in the neighborhood 6 years, and for all those 6 years, I've been on the BDNA, 1 as vice chair, 5 as chair. So it's not my first meeting, but I first heard about BDNA through the neighborhood Facebook group at to go to a national night out event. And I don't have anything else tonight. So I'm just gonna call down the row as I see. And if you don't want to introduce yourself, that's fine. You can stay silent or just say pass. It looks like Mary Kinney, you're first on my list here.
Yeah, can you hear me okay? Wonderful. Yeah, my name is Mary. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I just moved here not quite 2 months ago from New York, so I'm brand new in many, many ways. So this is my first meeting. I'm stoked to be a part of the community board meetings. I did that in my where I'm from in Queens. So I'm excited to be a part of this one. And I heard about it. I think I've just seen signs and stuff like that, but that was, it was important to me to be part of the community board. So I did some research. So that's all I got.
We are very glad you're here. Did you by chance receive a brochure in the mail yet? Or are you renting?
I bought, I'm a first-time homeowner. I think I probably did, but I don't remember.
Well, if
because I had already.
I want to know, did you get a brochure in the mail?
That's what Mary? I just asked Derek. So why don't you guys message and you can figure it out. But Derek sends out brochures to our new move-ins to try and welcome them to the neighborhood. We are glad you're here, and it's never too early to join the BDNA. So. All right, Gail, you're next on my list.
Hello, I'm on the agenda. Can you hear me? Oh, good. She, her, we pronouns. We are all together. I've been here since the dinosaurs, and this is my 1000th. Actually, this is my anniversary month, and I'm actually here. No band practice today. So, yay. That's it. We'll talk about concert later.
Thank you, Gail. Congratulations on your BDNA anniversary. And yeah, definitely, if you're interested in our summer concert coming up, stay for that in our second half. Paola, you're next.
Hi, everyone. I'm Paola, she, her pronouns. I'm from Southeast Uplift. I don't live in BDNA in Brentwood-Darlington, but I am a liaison from Southeast Uplift to BDNA. Yeah, happy to be here. Thank you.
We're happy to have you. Thank you for coming to facilitate our elections. Derek, you're next.
Oh, I'm okay. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm Derek Covey. I've been in the neighborhood since 2012. My pronouns are he, him. And recently I do outreach to new neighbors. We did a mailing, 480 new neighbors, renters, and property owners that have basically people that have moved into the neighborhood since the beginning of the pandemic. So that was about 480 people. So I'm just curious if anyone received is new, and yeah, just let me know. I'm trying to track that. So, and that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Derek. We love that you send those out. And if you got one of those from Derek, go ahead and just let him know in the chat. Stephanie Frederick, you're next on my list.
Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Frederick. I'm the outgoing chair, land use chair of BDNA. Today is my last day. I've been with BDNA for 5 years. I moved into the neighborhood 5 years ago and immediately joined. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie's put a lot of work into the land use committee. And so many of the projects you might be excited about, she's had a hand in.
Thank you, Chelsea.
Linda, you're next. Linda,
okay.
You're muted. There you go.
Can you hear me now? Okay, my pronouns are she, her. I work with the Multnomah County Master Gardener Demonstration Garden. I've been there since 2017. I do not live in the neighborhood, but I'm here several times a week. I've been the director of that garden since 2021. And this year I am the co-coordinator of the garden. I'm bringing somebody in to help me. And I've been coming to these meetings for, I believe, around 3 years now.
Linda, you might as well live in the neighborhood with how often you're here. Definitely check out the Master Gardeners, and Linda will be updating us later. Dunya, you're next.
Hi, I'm Dunya Markham. I live in the neighborhood and have since 2002. I'm not a member per se, but I've been attending meetings. I'm also a Moose Lodge member and was just elected junior president over there. Yeah, that's about it.
Dunya is too humble. Definitely check out Vibe's work and the camps they're going to offer this summer in our neighborhood for kids. Pam, you're next.
Chelsea, I'm having technical difficulties, but I think you called my name, correct?
I did. Do you need me to give a quick intro since your tech's having issues?
So Pam Hodge, she, her pronouns, born and raised in Brentwood-Darlington. I'm on the very southern boundary, 58th and Harney Drive. Former board member, not my first meeting. And I'm currently serving on the TGM Advisory Committee, the planning study for Brentwood-Darlington, and we'll keep reporting back to the board about that. And I think that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Pam. I'll also note that Pam is our Errol Heights kind of liaison still. She was involved in that project and helps keep us posted on that. So if you're excited about the new Errol Heights Park, make sure and give Pam a thumbs up there. Mary, you're up next.
So I'm guessing you're calling me as Mary Davis, another Mary. Pronouns are she, her, been in the neighborhood since 1994, served on the board a couple of times, so not my first meeting. And I first heard about the BDNA via a flyer that was circulated back in the olden times. And I'll chat with you all later about what's going on at Leach.
Welcome, Mary. We're excited to hear what's new. Lynn, you're up next.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lynn. Pronouns are she, her. I've lived in the neighborhood for 29 years. Not my first meeting. I'm the current treasurer. I've been the treasurer for 4 years. And I first heard about the BDNA through a Facebook post.
Welcome, Lynn. And we want to extend a huge thank you to Lynn for being our treasurer for so long. It is a thankless job.
Thank you.
Let's see, Allie Hoffman.
Hi, Allie Hoffman, she, her pronouns. This is my first meeting. We just bought in the neighborhood about 7 months ago, last fall. Also first time homeowners, but we've both been in Portland, my husband and I, for about, I've been here 15 years, and him a little bit less. And yeah, excited to join tonight. Happy to be here.
Excellent. We're glad you're here. Welcome to your first meeting. Let's see, next on my list is Alex.
Hi, my name is Alex Sharon, he, him pronouns. I'm actually a colleague of Paola and shadowing her today to see how she does this whole election facilitation thing. So thanks for having me on.
Excellent. Welcome. We're glad you can make it. Did I miss any? Oh, Kim DeLeo, I see you there.
Hello, everybody. Kim DeLeo, she, her pronouns. I've lived in BDNA for 7 years and I've been a member for almost a year now. I think next month makes a year, maybe. I have to check that. But anyway, heard about BDNA. I sought out the neighborhood association after our home remodel, mostly because of the speeding on Duke. And then I decided to stick around. So here I am. Nice to see everybody.
Good to see you, Kim. And also Kim is our Southeast Uplift liaison. So, or rep, I'm not sure can't remember what the title is at this moment, but so she's pulling some extra duty there too. So make sure and give her a big thank you as well. Now, did I miss anybody? All right, let's keep going. Just real quick, recently I was in a conversation with another board member. I remembered we had these community conversation agreements that we used to post at our meetings. And we thought it would be really nice to revive them and kind of remind everyone about just general meeting etiquette. Not that we've had problems, but it's good to just kind of think about the space we're in. So I'm going to give everyone just a moment to read those because I know sometimes reading them out loud doesn't work for everyone. All right, I can also put these in the chat if anyone's interested. These were done up by former board members, Meg and Albert. So real fun meetings were had, and these were always on the wall. And it was a great reminder of things we used to have when we met in person. So, and how we want to conduct ourselves. All right, I know we're running behind. I got to get better at honoring the time limits of the agenda. Luckily, I think our community announcements will be fairly quick tonight, so we'll dive into those. As always, we start with our Green Thumb site. I have an announcement from Learning Gardens Lab since they don't have a rep tonight. Just letting you know that this Saturday, May 7th from 10 to 1, outside the People's Gate, they're going to be having their plant sale. A little listing there of what they said they would have. And so go support them. The People's Gate is the one that faces the tennis courts on 60th Avenue. And again, I'll put links in the chat when I get a chance. I don't have any new announcements from Black Futures Farm, and I don't see Malcolm or Mirabai. I know they were working hard in the garden when we were there for Earth People Festival. So I think high towers and lots of updates next month. And then Linda, I'm going to turn it over to you so I can get those links in the chat and you can tell us what's new at Master Gardeners.
Okay. excuse me, April, we had a great month, but we had psycho weather, just like everybody else in Portland. We were involved with the Learning Gardens Lab Earth Day event, and we gave away mason bee houses, seeds, and garden information. It was a great day for us. We had to cancel our incredible edibles sale, which was supposed to be this weekend. And Chelsea, I'm hoping that you got that information and were able to post that. Oh, good, yay. We canceled that because of the increased COVID numbers. And since we work with Oregon State University, it was a kind of like a little locomotive that we couldn't stop. So we had to cancel it. And, but we will be back next year for sure. For May, we're getting our crops in and we're looking forward to hopefully better weather. But again, this is Portland, so we get what we get. That's all I have. Oh, and one other thing is anybody is welcome anytime to come by the garden as long as we're open. Our open hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to noon. And anytime the pedestrian gate on 57th Avenue is open, you're welcome to come in, visit us.
It's exciting. Thank you, Linda. Sad about the edibles sale though. And the weather at the Earth People Festival was insane. It went from like sunny and warm to hailing marbles, and it was nuts.
They had something called, we had something called grapple. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's when ice crystals start up in the sky, and by the time they fall to Earth, it's like a little poof of snow.
Hey, we all get a weather lesson too.
That's what we had.
All right. Thank you, Linda. Let's move along. Real quick, the Saturday while you're over buying your plants from Learning Garden Labs, save some room in your wagon and roll on down to the other gate and go to the last Community Transition Program spring plant sale of the season. Definitely recommend their Mother's Day or their flower baskets, their hanging baskets, as a gift for Mother's Day coming up, or as we're calling it at the school I work at, Someone Special Day. So definitely check them out. It is a sale not to miss. So, you know, half your cart for Learning Garden and half your cart from CTP, and then you can wagon on home. All right, Mary, what's new at Leach?
I want to cover a couple of things. Our Scott Holcher, who used to be the head gardener, is now our plant cultivator. And that's a good thing because instead of being able to offer annuals as we had been told, he has produced some gorgeous native and shade plants. So if you're in the market and you don't see what you wanted at the plant sales this Saturday, go on up to Leach Gift Shop, and there's just an array of beautiful plants outside in front of the gift shop. I also wanted to let you know that if you go to the leachgarden.org site, you'll find it's a little differently organized, but under events, if you hit the events button, you'll find information about 3 mindfulness sensory walks coming up this month. There's one scheduled for Sunday the 8th, Mother's Day, and that's going to be in Vietnamese because it's led by Lee Dong. But there will be 2 additional ones. One Saturday the 14th from 8:30 to 10 a.m. and one on Sunday the 29th from 10 to 11:30. And that is all.
Thank you, Mary. I went ahead and found that link and put it there in the chat if folks are interested in those sensory walks. And don't be surprised if you get contacted by a preschool. I was singing Leach Garden's praises about the aerial tree walk today.
Fantastic.
Speaking of schools, I don't have any school updates other than end of school year's coming up. Different districts have different end days, but it's all around mid-June. So keep an eye on those school zones for at least another month and a half. And elections are happening. Oh, one moment, Dunya asked if there was a link to the gardens plant sale. Not that they gave us that, they just sent me an email with that blurb and asked to share it. So I think you just show up at the gate. Just a reminder, the elections are happening, and if you did not get your ballot, to definitely contact Multnomah County Elections at the number there. I'll also post that website that has lots of excellent information, including an interactive map of drop sites. Our closest drop site here is the Woodstock Library, and you can also drop, I think, almost all the libraries, but Woodstock's our closest, and get those ballots in by May 17th. All right, we're going to go ahead and roll into our elections kind of segment. And we always start our elections with a little recap. But before I do that, Paola, do you want to talk about just real quick how the elections are going to be kind of structured and how folks will declare a candidacy and all of that?
Absolutely. So to introduce myself again, my name is Paola. I am the Communications and Fiscal Sponsorship Manager at Southeast Uplift, and I am here as a third-party person facilitating ballots tonight. So Southeast Uplift has created and will be counting the ballots. If you're not familiar with Southeast Uplift, we are one out of 7 district coalitions. We are focused in Southeast Portland. We are a capacity building organization, and we provide liaison support for 20 neighborhood associations, including BDNA. A lot of things that we do, we have a fiscal sponsorship program. So we fiscally sponsor BDNA as well, which means that this neighborhood association can apply to grants and do some cool fundraising. We also have a grants program, a land use and transportation program, and a lot more. So regarding the voting tonight, ballots will be open for 24 hours. I will tally all the votes and send over results soon after. I'm gonna share my screen for a second. I wanna bring attention to that Southeast Uplift will have a new board member orientation on June 7th. So this is what the flyer looks like. So all candidates will get this flyer after results are in. And this orientation is to really refresh everyone. If you're a returning board member, it's a refresher. If you're new, this will go over anywhere between the Portland neighborhood system to board roles. So if you're sitting here today and you're like, I don't know if I want to run for the board, I don't really know what that means, I would say go for it. This orientation is very thorough. We will let you know, you're not going to just jump into something you don't know anything about. Like, we would make sure to orient you in that. So yes, so this flyer will be going out probably early next week. So RSVP to that. And so the way that we're gonna do this, I have a ballot created. I just need everybody that is running for the board to either raise their hands or put your name in the chat, and I will put that in our ballot. And I will show the link in the chat, and the link will also be in the BDNA website. And again, this will be open for 24 hours, and then I will tally up the votes and let you all know. So yes, so if everyone can write their name in the chat or raise their hands, whatever feels best, I will write your name in the ballots.
And a quick, just reminding board members that since we won't have results till tomorrow, officers will be elected at the June meeting like we did last year. And I'll have that more info on that later in the meeting. So right now it's just our board at large, not worrying about officers. Correct, Paola?
Yes.
Okay.
Perfect.
Paola, would you like me to do the little presentation on BDNA while folks are putting their names in the chat?
That would be perfect. Yes. Thank you.
All right, give me a moment to get my screen shared. All right. We don't have a ton to recap this year, but I always like to do a little recap of what we did. And even despite COVID and a small board and not being able to really do any of the big things we normally do with or the events, we still were able to do some things. The grocery gift cards that we've been doing for neighbors to help with food insecurity are still ongoing. We are still giving those out. We gave out 2 of those last month to neighbors who were experiencing gap in ability to purchase food. Many folks don't know, but the assistance that a lot of families were getting during the pandemic through that they were doing for children is no longer happening. So that those extra funds are gone and a lot of families are struggling. We have been maintaining our BDNA YouTube channel. We have recorded every single meeting since we started, or every single board meeting since we started doing Zoom, and you can watch them all. They're all there. We held our very first Soak It Week events. We offered 2 bucket giveaways and gave away, I think it was over 200 buckets, but I don't have the exact number, and my folks with those numbers aren't here tonight. And we are doing Soak It Week again this year. I know that Laura Lee has drilled over 100 buckets already and has about 200 more to go. And kudos to Dunya and the Moose Lodge. They're going to help us store them and maybe help host one of the events, but at least advertise it. We also, it was a little earlier in the year, but I forgot to include it last year. We hosted a warming station when we had that really big power outage. We worked with community members to do that and offer a place to get warm and charge up. Soak It Week for the newbies. Oh, don't worry, we'll talk about it more. Actually, no, I don't have a slide for it tonight. Let me talk about that real fast. I am going really fast for having some new folks here. Let me slow down. Soak It Week is an event we do the last week of July and August. In June, we offer free buckets that are pre-drilled with holes to put by your trees to water them. They have a label on the bucket that lets you know how much water to give per age of tree. And then we send out reminders in July and August to put your buckets by your trees. And it works really great. Honestly, I think it's the only reason my new trees survived, but it's part of a partnership with Trees for Life Oregon to help trees get through our really dry, hot summers that are happening and prevent a lot of tree death, because trees between ages of, I think it's 2 and 15 are most at risk for tree death, because people stop watering their trees once they're established, but they aren't really established quite yet. So it's an effort there, and I might have the numbers a little off there, but I will link to the Soak It Week information from last year as soon as I get a chance to that. And I'll also make sure the link to our YouTube channel is in the chat if I didn't already post it. The grocery gift cards are a thing we started at the kind of beginning of the pandemic. We purchase $50 gift cards from our grocery outlet, our local store, and then any neighbor can request one to help with food insecurity for either themselves or a neighbor they know. And we give them out until we run out, and then we vote to buy more. Let's see, where am I at? We partnered to host 3 virtual guests or events. This year, we partnered with the Woodstock Community Business Association to host Sam Adams, who's the Director of Strategic Innovations for the mayor, or was at the time. I'm not sure where everybody is right now. We partnered with Woodstock and Mount Scott Neighborhood Associations to host Commissioner Mingus Maps. And we partnered with the Creston Kenilworth Neighborhood Association and several PTAs in that area, both Creston and Cleveland, to host a Multnomah County Chair virtual forum for candidates. That is also on our YouTube. So if you're still undecided on who you'd like to vote for Multnomah County Chair, I will also make sure that video gets linked. It was a great event. It's going to be a hard choice this year. And lastly, as we were talking about earlier in the meeting with Linda, we tabled at the Learning Gardens Lab. And I know that says plant sale because I recycled this slideshow and I didn't have my glasses on when I was doing this one. So it should say the Earth People Fair there. And it was beautiful when that picture was taken and ended, as Linda stated, in grapple, and was insane. The weather shift was crazy. So that's what I was able to kind of remember, put together from our website. And I'm really hoping that, you know, next year this slide will show our normal events like our concert in the park, and maybe we'll get to do a Halloween event and who knows what else. But we are for sure having a Soak It Week. And next year on this slide will also be the fall Sparrowhawk plant sale pickup that is confirmed. And we have our reservation. So, and I'll talk about that later in the kind of end of the meeting. Any questions? Folks who it's your first meeting, feel free to ask questions about this. I know that was a lot of information all at once. I'm going to take a drink of water. You let me know if you have any questions. You know, Gail, you got to vote for more than one. All right.
It's not letting us.
All right. Well, you should vote for you. Okay.
No way.
I'll second that. I'm on the ballot too. And as soon as you vote for a second person, the first one disappears.
Yes.
This has been updated now, so you can try again.
All right. So in the chat there's a link from Paola. It's been updated to work. Go ahead and pull that up. And I just lost my screen. And vote there. And neighbors who are not board members, you vote too. Everybody gets to vote at this meeting. We are all voting. So definitely click through that link. And I'm going to stop talking for, say, the next 4 minutes. Or is that too long to let everybody vote? Polo, I do have slides on our board structure and our bylaws if neighbors have any questions on that and kind of what the different things are. Neighbors, thumbs up, thumbs down. Do you want me to run through that information and kind of give you a bylaws and how this works? Or do you have questions? Do you want to see it? I'm not seeing a lot of, all right.
Now it works.
All right, well, while this is going on, I want to make sure we thank our outgoing board members because our boards are all 1-year terms. So not everybody's here tonight, but thanks to Laura Lee Cole, she served as our secretary, Lynn Reck, our treasurer, Kim DeLeo, our Southeast Uplift rep, Kim Hill, who's a newer board member, and I'm hoping is going to re-up maybe at next month. Stephanie Frederick, land use chair, Derek Covey, he's been doing our outreach, Gail Keeley, who is movies and concerts in the park, and then I'm there at the bottom and I'm the chair. So at least, yeah. All right. Just so you know, we do need to have a 5 board member minimum. Paola, have we hit that number?
I'm seeing 4 candidates running.
So neighbors, this is when we have the hard conversation of neighbors need to volunteer for the board to work. So if you're on the fence about joining the board, this is the time to do it. You can join the board at any time, but it does take unanimous vote of the current board to let that happen.
So join us.
Please do.
I have a question. So
Go for it.
I saw 4 people on the ballot, but it looks like we have a 4 board member minimum.
5.
Oh, 5, excuse me. So 4 on the ballot, 5 member minimum. So do we need somebody else or?
Yes.
Yeah, we definitely need at least 1 more board member. So you know what? I'll go ahead and go through kind of what a board member does for our new neighbors in case they are feeling adventurous.
Be our party planner.
So what does a board member do? By our bylaws, you have to attend at least 10 meetings a month of these virtual, for now, at least, public board meetings. And currently they're held the first Thursday of every month, 7 to 9. You can volunteer on events, committees, or do other board duties like an officer. And we discuss and vote on neighborhood issues. We appoint committees as needed, and we work on different projects in the neighborhood and kind of the surrounding region. So like we partner with Woodstock and we partner with Mount Scott. For neighbors who are new to the area, Woodstock is our neighbors to the west. Lentz is to our east. Directly above us to the north is Mount Scott, Arleta, and Foster Powell. And then across the border in Multnomah County is Johnson Creek, Ardenwald. And we have worked with all of those neighborhoods in the past, sometimes all at once. It's really fun. Who's eligible? Basically anybody in the neighborhood. If you live here, if you work here, if you go to school, if you worship, if you come play in the park all the time, if you are just a huge fan of BDNA and want to be part of it, you're pretty much eligible to be on the board. Any questions?
I think Mary would make an excellent board member. Just
I know she would. She has been one in the past.
Come on, Mary, you know you want to come back. Here anyway.
I hesitate to go through the bylaws because they are a little dry, but I will let you know the boundaries. As most of you know you're in Brentwood-Darlington, but there are our official boundaries and the legal wording for who can be part of the board. Oh, Dunya would like to join the board. Yay, Dunya!
Hey.
We are better for having you. This is a long format of the information I gave you before. So we're going to keep moving. If you want to read these in detail, I can link you to them. And then our next meeting will be June 2nd. And the board that's elected tonight will elect officers from that. And there is a chair, a vice chair, a secretary, and a treasurer up for grabs. So hopefully we will get that all going. And then if you're interested in one of those positions, that is kind of the average hours and kind of the generalization of what they might do to help you out. And I'm going to pause talking and let you read through this and go make sure I vote as well. And Paola, do you want to add anything?
No, this is great. Thank you, everyone, for running tonight. Again, the ballot is live. It's been updated. I do have to hop off soon, but again, reminder, June 7th will be a board member orientation, and that's like from the ground, the foundation, just learning all about the ins and outs of the neighborhood system and board roles and responsibilities. So look out for that, save the date. Thank you.
And Paola, will we be posting this ballot up publicly? Is that all right?
It's up to you, but yeah, that sounds great if you can post it on your website and wherever else.
Awesome. So I'll make sure that gets up on our site tonight and shared to the neighborhood groups with a little note that we can still add more board members in June.
Yes, perfect.
Right.
Thank you.
So thanks, Paola. Can everybody give Paola thank you for being and a yay for coming and doing the elections. It's one of those admin things we've got to do, and we're glad you all came through it. We really appreciate her being here in this late evening. Any other questions for her before we let her go enjoy her night? All right. Thanks, Paola. Have a great night. All right, before I hit the next slide, Derek, are you ready to do your information that you wanted to share with neighbors tonight? I made you 2 slides from the document you sent me with the information, the 2 chunks. You're muted there, Derek.
Hey, now I'm ready.
There you
I
go.
hope you can hear me.
Okay,
So
are you ready?
yes, So I'll see the 2 slides. There we go. And then, yeah, so this is from a, I think there's a whole document here, and I'm happy to, I'll send that to everybody, you know, that's in our email chain, or anybody that's interested can get a hold of me. But I've dealt with, and of course, I'm a realtor with the XP Realty, so I should give you some background here. And I find that a lot of people may not be planning for things like people, you know, passing away without a will. And so, and this is just part of the document, but it's and I'm not an attorney by any stretch of the imagination, but for me, this document, the complete document, is a nice little checklist for people to consider. I mean, for example, if someone dies without a will and they're in probate, it's not the end of the world. It just stretches things out for a longer period of time. And so, but it's just something to consider before something does happen in your family or with loved ones, and not just with real estate, with everything that's going on with their estate. But anyway, yeah, I'm happy to share that complete document with you. And again, I'm not an attorney, but it's kind of a nice thing that kind of trigger maybe an idea to talk to an estate or an elder law attorney, or an attorney that specializes with probates and wills and family law. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with everybody. So any questions?
Hey, Derek, I have a comment.
Sure.
As your local neighborhood medical examiner,
Okay.
I highly encourage you to take Derek's advice because I think most people assume that power of attorney extends after death, and it does not. So if you want someone else to make funeral arrangements and other arrangements for you, it's a good idea to have that outlined.
Right. And there's things that with the complete document, you'll see some things regarding like living wills or TOD, transfer on death. Sometimes I'll see that on in a trio that's recorded with the county as far as the property title. And again, I won't be an attorney, but I'm happy to share this complete document with you. And it's a great resource to share. And then when you're with everyone involved, maybe go find an attorney and see what applies to you or what you may or may not want to do. So yeah, thank you, Kim, for the input.
So Derek, this is Pam.
Hi, Pam.
Yeah, having just gone through probate with my mom's estate, I mean, even if you have a will, you still need to go through probate generally because the court has to validate the will. Right.
That's true. And again, I'm not an attorney, but I'm thinking, yeah, it's more than just a will. It's, for example, a property, if you have the TOD or transfer on death, that actually could be transferred to, now, my understanding as a layperson and not an attorney is that if it's TOD transfer of death, you don't have to go through probate. The property can be transferred to that heir without going through the probate, without waiting through the probate process. And again, it's just something that trigger you to go talk to an attorney and find out the facts. But yeah, there's more than just the will part of it. So there's lots of moving parts here. And again, I provide this document really just to get people to start thinking about it and then go talk to an attorney. Right. So, but thank you, Pam. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Any other questions or comments? All right, folks. I don't know how we did it, but we are running ahead of our agenda somehow. So in the interest of maybe finishing early tonight, we're going to go ahead and take our break now. And we're going to come back at We normally take 5 minutes, but is 5 minutes enough, or do we want to go 7 and give ourselves to 7:55 to come back and get back on our track with our agenda? Any opinions? Do we want to take a 2-minute break? 5 minute? 5-minute break. We'll be back at 7:55. Everybody go fill up your drinks and we will be back at 7:55. I'll pause the recording if you want to stay and chat amongst yourselves. All right, welcome back everyone. We are back from our break and we'll jump in with, oh, I have my slides out of order. There we go. Before we go here though, I want to make sure that anybody who joined after Paola had gone knows to vote. The ballot link is in the chat and I will repost that because it's pretty far up yet. Or up. I am losing my ability to speak properly this evening. So in that light of that, Gail, are you ready to talk about our concert in the park?
These are our guys. I submitted our request for that partial monetarily help. Word escapes me. So I hope to hear back by tonight, but haven't yet. So I will let you know what hoops I have to jump through to get a reduction in our price. Jed, of course, suggested a grant from Southeast Uplift, and I'm like, right. Because yeah. We have to have something a little more special to get a grant since they're tight on funds too. Although any other grants might come in handy. I stated we don't have a business district and we don't have a sponsor anymore. So hopefully it won't be quite $1,000. It's usually $750 if at the worst.
I'm prepared for them not to budge on that, considering the concerts used to be 4,000. So,
well, it's concert or movie, and we've always gotten a discount. Discount, that's the word I'm looking for. I offered a coupon. I haven't heard back yet. But I am optimistic. And that's our band. And July 29th, it's a Friday night. And we can do whatever we want. We can invite tables and vendors and artists and whoever wants to show up and do stuff. We can invite, everyone in Brentwood-Darlington.
Well, isn't that the point, to invite everybody in front? That leads to the question I've got there.
Stuff, bring your table, bring your chairs, join us.
And neighbors, if we want any specific things at this event, we can choose to offer that. So if there's an information table you'd like, or a skill or demonstration you'd like to offer. One year we had a neighbor who offered hula hooping lessons and brought awesome. All sorts of hula hoops, and that was a lot of fun. So if maybe you want to lead a meditation, or maybe you, I don't know what your
line.
But if you want to do something, or you would like us to source something, talk to Gail. And we will do what we can with the resources we have.
Yeah, we still have a couple of months to plan.
Yep. And it looks like they don't need money out of us till July 1st. So hopefully next month you'll have good news for us.
Yeah.
So any questions for Gail on our concert in the park?
I have a question. Just a second. You can't see me. Okay. My question is, does does the movie run 6:30 to 8:30, or is the event 6:30 to 8:30?
I think it's, well, we don't have a movie. We have a concert.
I mean the concert.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's 6:30 to 8:30, but it could be 6:30 to 9.
So is the event earlier than that? Does it start earlier?
We can have something before
6 for setting up. We can be there anytime we want to be.
Yeah, if we wanted to have it all set up besides the concert before that, we could. But because we can talk to Jed about how we want it structured.
Yeah.
If you're hoping to have like an information table for Master Gardeners.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And plants.
Hey, we could do that too.
Woohoo! Plants for sale.
Maybe there could be a pre-concert tour through the garden that neighbors could do.
We could do that.
That would be cool.
All sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
These are great ideas. Keep them coming. Kim DeLeo, you also have a question.
So sorry, I had to take a call, but I missed. So did we get a food cart? I think we were going to try the New Orleans cart theme, or
Jed has contacted several. And I don't know how many several is, but we don't have any information on specifics yet.
I did
invite more.
Well, I did ask Matt and Mamers, and they said they would be willing to do it. So I sent that information to you, but anyway, let me know if you need to follow up, but they are so good.
Yeah.
And I didn't check out Donna Jones and the delegation. They look really cool. What kind of music are they?
I don't know.
Jed said it's dance and kind of a soul funk.
Nice.
So he said it
similar to what I requested.
They also are part of they're one of those bands that's also another band, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And of their two bands, this one kind of fit the most of what neighbors requested on our survey that we sent out. So I'm excited to have
Mookie and the
fun
Jazz
concert.
Cats.
Oh yeah, it'll be awesome.
Also Mookie and the Jazz Cats.
That's right.
Okay.
So he said that it seems like a great fit, and I'm willing to trust him on this. And I mean, a concert's going to be great pretty much no matter what. And they look like a fun band. I linked their Facebook there in the chat if you want to check them out and see what their music's like. Any other questions or comments on our concert? All right.
Bring a blanket, bring a cooler, bring a money for food carts.
All right, I'm gonna turn it over to Lynn for her last treasures report.
All right, hello everybody. So we started off at the end of March with $6,336.60. We had one deposit and then expenses of $262.20. And we ended up with $6,124.66. And with the upcoming concert and the park fee expense and some other miscellaneous income, we were going to end up with about $5,436.89. Any questions on the report?
Any questions or comments on our treasurer's report? Thank you, Lynn, for all you do. The only notation I will make on that is if we want those funds to go up, we might have to think about that. And if we want those funds to go up via a neighborhood cleanup, David Ashton is willing to lead it. He has done it many, many times before, but there has to be enough volunteers to work it. And so far that seems to be the holdup. So just putting it out there, if you're worried about the dollar amount going down and you want to be a part of that fundraiser and also get rid of all of our trash and junk, then maybe consider doing the survey that I'm going to post in the chat. Any other questions on the treasurer's report? All right. And with that, we roll into our land use committee report. Go ahead, Stephanie.
Okay, very good. All right, let's see. I have a few items to report on. One is the exciting news that 82nd Avenue will become officially under the jurisdiction of the city of Portland on June 1st. And this is wonderful news for us because 82nd Avenue is on our eastern boundary, and we should see eventually a huge improvement in the appearance of the street and improvement in the crossings. It should become a lot safer for students and others to cross. And it should look newer and brighter and more modern. It would be good for attracting businesses and attracting customers for existing businesses. So it should be an improvement all the way around. So this is something really to celebrate. And of course, how it's going to bring up land values in eastern Brentwood-Darlington. So that's going to be putting pressure on low-income people. And that's something that the TGM planning effort is, I hope, going to be able to focus on successfully, because our neighborhood has long served as it's a landing place for low-income workers who have been pushed out of other Portland neighborhoods. So we'd like to keep it that way if we possibly can. And to move on to the TGM update, and Pam, if you'll help me here and there, that would be great. The TGM planning effort is a multi-neighborhood planning project to evaluate and plan for improvements in economic development, street safety, transportation, and the risk of displacement. The PBOT and BPS planners consult regularly with local members of a project advisory committee, and Pam Hodge is a member of that committee. The last meeting of this committee was held on April 25th, and when there was brought up to date on what the next steps are. The TGM is about halfway through the planning process. It's a little behind schedule. The next step is soliciting public opinion via an online open house and other means, I believe, on a spectrum of proposals that concern zoning changes and transportation improvements. And the list included intersection enhancements, transit service, new commercial corridor designations along 52nd and 72nd Avenues, new center designations or expansion of existing centers, that would be only Woodstock and Foster Road, potential corridor and local street improvements in the form of crossings, sidewalks, traffic calming, paving, potential bike network improvements, potential street design changes that would affect parking and bike lanes. Now, an interesting thing happened, which is that the planners proposed that that the southern terminus of a commercial corridor designation for 52nd Avenue be at Duke Street, which is the street that borders our neighborhood on the north. And Pam Hodge at the meeting questioned that. Well, why would it not go all the way down to Harney Drive, which would make a lot more sense for us? And the answer came out of a focus on the Woodstock neighborhood center, that people who live within a half mile of Woodstock on either side or on either end are considered to be in a walk shed for that neighborhood center. And if they're outside the walk shed, then they're not going to walk there. And then the matter just drops. And I'm quite bewildered, because if we had a commercial corridor all the way down 52nd, all the people who live within the walk shed there would eventually have businesses and services that they could go to as use changed over time because of the zoning change. So Woodstock has a walk shed, but apparently Brentwood-Darlington does not have a walk shed. Is that right, Pam?
I don't recall them using the term walk shed, Stephanie, but I have submitted a written comment for clarification. I think before they host the open house this spring, they really need to clarify the terminology between neighborhood centers, neighborhood corridors, enhanced intersections. I've attended every meeting and I'm still confused as to exactly what they are proposing and why.
Oh, thank you. Okay, I got the term watershed from the minutes of the meeting. And
okay.
So I don't know whether the person who took the meeting minutes inserted that term or whatever, but I never heard of that term before. But I just used it because I saw it in the minutes, and it was used as an explanation for why the commercial corridor would not extend south of Duke Street. Anyway, the online open house will be coming up soon, and it will give us all an opportunity to advocate for our neighborhood. And it will be nice if we can get some clarification about these different terms, so we'll understand what they're proposing to us. So thank you, Pam, if you can help us with that. And then as I was reading also through the minutes, I was a little unhappy to see that the transit planner that we pinned our hopes on has not found any really good alternatives to the bus routes through Brentwood-Darlington. And you know, he didn't come up with anything that would probably be acceptable to TriMet. All three options that Jarrett Walker and his team came up with would create disruptions in the structure of TriMet's east side grid. I mean, that means that if you change one route, it changes another, which changes another. It's like dominoes. And it looks like trying to alter the transit pathways through Brentwood-Darlington is going to be much more difficult than we had assumed. So one design proposal, though, that would be outside of three basic alternatives is interesting. I'm going to read it to you. It would eliminate all bus service along Duke. It would consolidate service for the line 19, which would have continuous service up to Woodstock. There would be new service for line 10 along 72nd. And that's strange because line 10 is an east-west and line, and 72nd goes north-south, so I don't understand what they mean. And expand the 71 to continue further east on Flavel to connect to the Green Line Flavel Max station, which sounds like a good idea. This option likely aligns best with the future development scenarios, but it does contain trade-offs, namely the elimination of bus service on Duke and on Herald east of 72nd. So that was like the best they could come up with, I guess. And I'm sorry that there wasn't a more inventive way, and maybe we can end up having a shuttle. I mean, that's what set some of this transit investigation off, was that we were proposing to TriMet that we have some shuttle service here that would fill in some gaps, primarily to take people to the Green Line and the Orange Line stations. But then if we had that, it could have freed up service for going up and down 72nd and connecting us to Mount Scott Community Center. So, well, we'll see what happens. But so far, I'm just expressing my disappointment in what I see so far, when I had high hopes for the transit planning aspect of the TGM. Did you have any reaction to that, Pam?
Well, I submitted fairly extensive comments after the last meeting. Of all of our meetings, I think the last one was the most confusing, not only on the commercial quarters, but also on transportation matters, where they're considering bus routes, it would appear, separate from other alternative forms of transportation, like the shuttle or pedestrians or bike routes. I mean, they're all being looked at, but not, in my opinion, holistically from what I've seen so far. And I've also asked them to be more transparent about the underlying assumptions. They're talking about, for instance, changing bus routes to provide better access to work locations outside of BDNA. And I've asked them how old that data is and whether they're building in any assumptions about growth in telecommuting and whether that's going to continue or not. So I think there's lots of questions, but I think we gave them food for thought as they fine tune the presentation for the open house, which is still not scheduled, but is supposed to be sometime this spring.
Oh, okay. Thanks a lot, Pam. That's
And
very
it looks like Kim DeLeo has her hand up.
Hey, Stephanie, did you say that I wanted to make sure I heard you correctly, that they're thinking about getting rid of the bus line on Duke?
That's one proposal, but that seems, I'm not sure how wonderful that would be. It doesn't seem
right. And you know, every morning I see a lot of kids taking the transit as well.
Yeah, I
hope not.
My first reaction is to question the wisdom of that.
So I would hope they were working with Portland Public Schools on that, because the only way our kids get to high school is via public bus.
Yeah, because they have I see them every morning because they're like kind of kitty corner from my house.
Okay, well then that's something.
And there's a park, you know, right 2 blocks away from us.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's a good point to bring up on the online open house. Are you working with Portland Public Schools to transport students?
Is there a link for that online open house you can put in the chat?
No, it hasn't been scheduled yet.
Okay.
But we can, as soon as we know, we can provide that for you. Okay, well.
So Stephanie, maybe just to mention one more time that all of the documents from the study so far, minutes, agendas, analyses, or found out on the Bureau of Planning and Sustainability website. You can just Google Lower Southeast Area Rising Study. I know that's a mouthful, and you'll find all those documents, and every meeting is open to the public.
Yeah, in fact, if you just type in Lower Southeast, Google takes you to where you need to be. And so
I put that link in the chat.
When the open house has been scheduled, then we'll be able to access information there. Yeah, thank you, both of you. Okay, to go on to something sometimes called tactical urbanism, which is—
Hey, real fast, Stephanie.
Oh, sorry.
Folks can sign up to get updates on that website so they can be notified about the TGM, about the email updates. It's under featured content. Sign up for Lower Southeast Rising email updates to get those dates. And
no, I signed up for that and I have never received anything.
Oh,
but yes, you can sign up. There's no question. Then.
All right. Go ahead. You have one more topic. Is that correct?
Well, I had a few.
All right.
I'll go quickly. Okay, so on the subject of tactical urbanism, which is doing for yourself when the government can't, John Roll, who's a Foster Powell resident and ODOT data analyst, has been working with people in different neighborhoods, hoping to create eventually a PBOT-approved set of strategies that residents can use to calm traffic on their residential streets. And the idea is that they would band together with neighbors, share the expense, and install whatever the strategy is, whether it's putting out bales of hay or troughs to slow down traffic or speed bumps or whatever it is. The neighbors would do it, not PBOT. So the group met most recently on April 26th and for Brentwood-Darlington, and it may yield 2 households that are willing to carry out temporary demonstration projects on their streets. We'll be meeting again on May 11th via Zoom, and I will forward that information to you, Chelsea, so you can advertise it.
It looks like you have a question about that from Kim Hill.
Kim.
Stephanie, I just wanted to ask, it is about 8:20 and it looks like at 8:20 we're doing committee reports and other updates. Just a very friendly time check.
Thank you very much, Kim Hill.
You're very welcome.
Looks like we're right on time with the land use report. We're doing good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, quickly on the Brentwood-Darlington Community Center, the BDNA submitted a letter to Jessica Vega-Peterson's office asking her to intervene in the odd situation that we have with the building. And her chief of staff responded to Chelsea saying that he was going to think it over. He might turn it over to the attorneys. We'll see what they're going to do. But
neighbors who aren't familiar with that situation, you can watch last month's meeting. There's a good overview of it. And just giving you a heads up there. I'll go ahead and post the YouTube channel link in the chat here.
Okay. Quickly on air quality, we endorsed 9 of 11 letters from other neighborhood associations that were collected and sent to us for endorsement by the Portland Clean Air Project. We've been working with Portland Clean Air for a while, thinking if we support other neighborhood associations with their air quality struggles, and then they'll help us if we need help with precision cast parts or Eagle trailer manufacturing or any others that crop up in our area. And for those who don't know, the neighborhood associations in various parts of Portland are struggling with Union Pacific, with specific factories or processors who are illegally emitting all kinds of toxic chemicals into the air, along with particulates. And so we're just, we have our own problem down here, but we're supporting the efforts of others. And I think personally it's a beneficial arrangement which the BDNA board has endorsed in the past. Then quickly on to parks. But very quickly, Chelsea, you suggested once purchasing a VOC monitor, like a handheld monitor, to monitor volatile organic compounds, like the kind emitted by PCC and Eagle Trailer. And I found that
I don't remember suggesting that, but I do remember suggesting we put an air quality monitor at the community center.
Oh, okay. Well, I did look up handheld models for VOC monitors, and they do exist. As for putting up an air quality monitor at the BDCC, I don't know what that would entail, but portable VOC monitors are definitely available. Okay, so parks real fast. The Friends Bakery at 45th and Harney Drive closed on April 4th because of extreme levels of vandalism. And this closure may open an opportunity for the city of Portland to acquire the parcel, which will eliminate the last intrusion into Errol Heights Park. So that would be a wonderful thing if that happened. And we will see. One amongst us did call the city and pointed to this opportunity. So we'll see what happens. Finally, on trees, Brentstock Incubators held its first tree walk on the evening of April 21st. It was a group of about 20 people strolling the streets west of 52nd and learning the identity of different trees. It was a lot of fun. On a sad note, a report published by Portland Parks and Rec and highlighted by Oregon Live revealed that Portland has lost hundreds of acres of tree canopy since 2015, especially in East Portland, where tree canopy is needed most. So this is very sad, very tragic. Okay, that's my report. My last report. I just want to say if the new land use committee chair needs assistance or information, I'll be glad to provide it without any advocacy, just straight information. All land use minutes and other documents are now in Google Docs. And I do need to upload the historical documents associated with the BDCC, and I'll upload those shortly so that that file will be complete. So thank you for the opportunity to be land use chair. I learned a lot, it was fun, and I wish you all well. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Can we all give Stephanie a big round of sign language applause for her years of work on this, her thousands and thousands of hours. We can't say how much we really appreciate it and are grateful. So much of this, the TGM grant especially, wouldn't have happened without her advocacy. So if you're excited about any of these projects, make sure you thank Stephanie and the other board members as well who participated. And board members, before you abandon me, remember your term doesn't end till the end of May. June 1st is new board. So just
I see. Okay. All right. Fine. All right.
So
it was still my last report though.
That gives you time to get your documents up and all that, but yeah, don't run away and leave me hanging for the last 3 weeks.
No. Okay, fine. I won't.
And even if you're not a board member, of course, as neighbors know, you can come to meetings no matter what, and don't be a stranger. Let me get my share back up. My slideshow had to have a quick little update. Give me 1 sec to click those buttons. All right, Kim DeLeo, before I let you go into Southeast Uplift, I realized I missed an update that I want to make sure neighbors get in case anybody has to duck out. Are you okay if I flip our slides real fast?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll be super fast. I just want to let folks know, because I totally missed this in my beginning slides. It ended at the end instead. In June, we are going to have Dr. Marissa Zapata from Portland State University Centers for Excellence. And she's going to talk about systemic causes of homelessness. She's part of the Homelessness Research and Action Collaborative. And they have a podcast there if you want to know more about them. I'll link that in the chat. So if that's something you're interested in, join us in June because she will be our special speaker. Thank you, Kim, for letting me switch us, and I'll go back to you now.
Oh yeah, no problem. It should be fairly quick. We have received our $500 grant fund from Southeast Uplift, correct?
Lynn, can you answer that question?
Did you say the communication funds?
Yes.
Yes, we got that at the beginning of the year.
I thought so, because they did make notice that you have to the end of the month to claim it. And if there was any left over, they would feel free to disperse it. So.
Oh, that's weird. I think we have till the end of the year.
So double check, but we've got it. So I think we're good.
Is this a fiscal year versus regular year thing?
I'll find out.
Okay.
Yeah, in the past.
That's gotten us before.
Okay.
In the past, well, in the last year, we received the money at the beginning of the year, and we had until the end of the year to use it up and send them the receipts.
Okay, I'll find out.
So this is the first I've heard that we have to use it by the end of May.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will find out. I will email them and then I will let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Glad I mentioned that.
Yeah.
You know, we are still dealing with moving forward in a positive manner to focus on neighborhood association related duties. So a large portion of the meeting was spent discussing grievances that have been filed and how to enter into mediation with an individual. So that was it for updates. Hopefully one of the meetings we will not be dealing with that.
I really hope that the track record does not hold on that. Okay, any questions for Kim on Southeast Uplift? For neighbors who are new, Southeast Uplift is our neighborhood coalition. I know Paola talked about it a little at the beginning, but basically they're kind of like our umbrella, and they hold our insurance and they give us $500 a year and they help with our elections. They do trainings. They help us if we have questions sometimes, but they don't offer us a whole lot more support than that at this time. So, okay. Thanks to Kim for being our Southeast Uplift rep. That is another thankless job, but one we need and we really appreciate. I just want to give a quick update on our planned fall event for doing the Sparrowhawk native plant sale pickup. Neighbors who are new won't know that Mary Davis has now gone through this with Leach Botanical Garden. And I think she had to hop out, but we're hoping to lean on her knowledge a little bit. And we're also we're really excited that Master Gardeners is going to kind of be our partner on that as well. They are our backup on the paperwork. Linda agreed to do that, and they're going to offer educational opportunities and make this not just a pickup, but also an opportunity to connect with neighbors and gardeners. So we will have more on that as we go. Our rental at the community center is confirmed, and hinging on, of course, COVID protocols if that happens. And luckily, this is an entirely outdoor event already built with these protocols. Hill went to the event. I did too. It was so well organized. I was so impressed. I was so excited. And I really could envision how it's going to happen at our community center after that. So any questions on that, especially neighbors who are new and may not know what this is? This event is a different model for purchasing plants. So you order online ahead of time and you pick your date and time for pickup, and whatever date and time that is goes to support the organization who is going to host the pickup. And the organization hosting gets a chunk of the funds that are made on that day. So this is the fall one, yes. So it will be the end of September, early October. They're still nailing down dates. We will be one of, I believe, 3 organizations. And I think we are going to be one of the very first pickups in the fall, which Tracy and Nikki, the lovely minds behind Sparrowhawk, have said is the most profitable weekend. So this is a really nice fundraiser, but also a way to connect with neighbors and a way to bring more native plants. Especially they also offer native trees. So if we want to build up our tree canopy, this is a great opportunity to buy a tree, support the BDNA, come talk to a master gardener. Any questions on that? All right. And that will be at the community center unless something goes terribly wrong. We already talked about the guest speaker. Anything else, neighbors? New neighbors, do you have any questions, suggestions, burning events you want us to host, things you're ready to volunteer for? Anything in the neighborhood, new move-ins where you've gone, what the heck is that? All right. I see a question on peacocks. We do have wild peacocks. They tend to live in the Errol Heights area. Gail, enjoy your band practice. We'll see you, because you're out in June, we'll see you in July. Make sure you let us know for officers if you plan to run. But yeah, we have wild peacocks and you can see them in the Errol Heights area. And if you have more questions about them, we can definitely connect you to a bird lady. Dunya is also one of our resident bird ladies here. So if you need eggs, chicken or duck, connect with her and she can also tell you about peacocks. Kim DeLeo, do you have a question or a comment?
About the peacocks. I forget the street that they are normally on. I did see one when I lived on Henderson when I first moved here, when I was brand new walking down the street, and it totally shocked me. I was like, I've never seen this. What's going on? But it's really cool. I forgot the actual number street that they're on now.
Yeah, let's see. Looks like Allie's on 66 and told they're usually on 52nd. I've also seen them. I usually see them between 52nd and 45th, kind of over there.
Okay.
So, yeah, they're definitely closer to Errol Heights, but occasionally they come out and preen on 52nd.
Someone said that they were on 70th and Ogden. Like somebody posted on Facebook that they were on 70th and Ogden, which I thought was crazy. That's like right near my house. I've never seen them ever. Even
maybe we have a new flock.
I don't know. I was worried it was like my birds were out or something, and they thought those were peacocks. But yeah, that seemed awfully strange that they would be wandering that, because they don't fly, do they? They don't really fly.
Not really.
Yeah, I just don't know how they would. That's like a good half mile. So yeah, but
Getting their
they're
steps in.
regulars. We should get one of them on the board, actually.
We could make a peacock our neighborhood mascot.
I was thinking the same thing.
So since we have a little extra time, we've gotten through all of our meeting things. Oh, and Pam says she thinks it's mating season, and she saw them last year in May on 58. So maybe there's something exciting about coming east when they're looking for their partners. New neighbors, I will give you some interesting things to go look for in the neighborhood if you haven't already. A drive from Flavel to Duke on 78th will show you Robot House and Post Mavone. Of course, Learning Gardens Lab is that big old green space across from Brentwood Park. So if you aren't sure what that is, it's Learning Gardens Lab. There's a community garden, a community orchard, the Master Gardener's Demo Garden, the Black Futures Farm site. There is the Community Transition Program garden area. There's greenhouses, and I know I'm missing a few entities that are there. But I will post a link to our resource guide that went out in 2020 that has tons of information on the neighborhood. The Learning Garden Lab hours are hit or miss, I think. As Linda said, if the gates are open, usually you can come in. So if the gate on 60th is open and you see folks, you can just say, hey, are you open? Otherwise, I can put you in contact with Tim Howe, who is their current, I don't know what his title is, but around events and communication. And he could maybe get you some more concrete hours. And Junior dropped in the chat that Moose Lodge received funding for a 4th of July block party. And it'll be sometime in the early afternoon to late evening, like around 1 to 6. So maybe BDNA can partner on that, and that'll be a fun time. I'm trying to think if there's anything else super cool. There are cool murals hidden all over our neighborhood. There is a pollinator and nature patch in Hazeltine Park, which is a park that BDNA built.
And grills.
What was that?
Grills.
Yeah. There are grills there and picnic tables. The horseshoes are still there.
Yep.
So that is on Flavel Drive. So not Flavel Avenue, Flavel Drive. And I'll make sure and put that resource guide link here in the chat real quick. Neighbors, anything else? Pam says Portland Parks and Rec just broke ground on the Errol Heights Park redevelopment.
It's about time.
We're so
waited
excited.
decades, right, Gail?
Awesome.
It's been a decade.
So Pam, was it March that you brought us news about the art of the park?
Oh, I can't remember the exact month, but yes, we did have a member from the Regional Arts Council talking about the roughly $85,000 that they gave us for public art in the new park, which should be available at the grand opening next year. And it's a 13-foot high by, I think it was 6 feet wide, 4-ton bronze sculpture created by a partnership of 2 artists. One is Native American and the other is a blacksmith. And the blacksmith has done a lot of the installations for RAC in the past, and he specializes in large pieces. So I'm excited. We looked at 56 different artists, and it was a year-plus long process to select the artists. And then they had a couple months conceptualizing what fit best with the park. And so, yeah, they're busy at work.
Yay!
Exciting. So that was either the February or the March meeting. I'm pretty sure if neighbors want to go back and see that. And remember, this slideshow is available as well, so you can look through the slides and these meeting link documents. That all the links are in documents with those slides, and those are in our public records. So before I stop us and let us all go, is there anything else? All right, neighbors, have a wonderful evening. We're ending this meeting here at 8:41 p.m. And I really appreciate everyone who came, participated, and stayed till the end. Remember, we host these meetings every month, the first Thursday of the month here on Zoom. The link you used tonight is good all year. And hopefully we'll see you at our June meeting. And board members, do we want to host a work group this month, or do we want to take a month off? I'm seeing nods for work group. Okay, so remember to join us at the work group meeting the third Thursday. That link is up on the website. It is different, but if you search work group, it's right there. And have a great night, everyone.